Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to 90 Day Fiance's latest news. The antiseptic smell permeated the hospital room as Chantel Everett lay still in its sterile confines. The young lady who had formerly been lively and self-assured now felt small, exposed, and stuck in a predicament from which she could not seem to get out. She was caught off guard and thrust into a strange reality by the quick spread of the infection on her face. Although the afflicted areas were bandaged, they were unable to protect her from the emotional toll of the situation. She had a lot of questions in her head that she didn't want to ask. Would she ever have the same face? Could she face the world once more? Her lover Jamal was sitting quietly next to her bed, his hand gripping hers tightly. His eyes revealed a flurry of feelings, including dread, worry, and an unbreakable will to support the woman he had grown to care so much about. Despite his normally composed and self-assured manner, his fingers lightly touched hers, a silent pledge that he would always be by her side, no matter how challenging things got. Calm yet solemn, the doctor walked into the room. Even though Miller was seasoned and professional, there was a warmth in her voice that helped to lighten the blow of even the most difficult news. With a clipboard in hand, she walked to the foot of the bed and started talking in a calm voice. "We have been keeping a careful eye on your health, Miss Everett. We underestimated how aggressive the infection is. We must take immediate action to stop it from spreading further. Since it is causing tissue harm, the best course of action at this point is plastic surgery, not only for aesthetic reasons, but also to promote appropriate healing and reduce any potential long-term issues." Chantel's breath caught in her throat as she blinked. The phrase plastic surgery kept repeating in her head until it overpowered everything else the doctor had to say. Surgery on her face, the idea itself was oppressive. As she eventually found her voice, her hands began to shake a little. Surgery using plastic. Her voice was a mix of panic and incredulity as she whispered, "We're discussing my face here, my face. What if I no longer look like myself?" With tears in her eyes, Chantel cocked her head slightly to gaze at him. "Jamal, I no longer even recognize myself. What if everything is altered by this?" Jamal squeezed her hand and whispered firmly, "It won't change who you are. You remain strong, attractive, and unstoppable. Nothing can take that away from you, not even surgery, be ages, or illness," the doctor said in a kind and gentle interjection. "I know this is stressful, Miss Everett. Making the decision to have surgery is never easy, particularly when it concerns the face. However, the risk increases with the amount of time we wait. I promise that my staff and I am here to support you at every turn. You're in capable hands." Chantel took a deep breath and closed her eyes. Jamal's comments gave her something to cling to, but the terror was still there, eating away at her resolve. She reflected on all the times in her life when she had confronted obstacles head-on and refused to give up. It must have been one of those times. At last, she gave a wobbly but determined nod. "All right," she said. "Let's get it done." Chantel rested back against the cushion as the doctor went off to finish the preparations. Fatigue sweeping over her, Jamal never left her hand and remained by her side. The hospital was silent later that night, with the faint beep of monitors resonating through the corridors. Jamal's normally composed demeanor began to falter as he paced the hallway outside Chantel's room. After taking out his phone and looking at it for a while, he finally dialed a number. When the connection connected, he said, "Hey, Mom." The calm, warm voice of Kim was heard. "What's going on, Jamal? You seem tense." He wiped a hand across his face and said, "I am. Chantel is going to have surgery and I'm terrified. I have no idea what to do. I'm attempting to support her with strength, but what if something goes wrong?" Jamal, Kim remarked in a stern but reassuring tone, "You're taking care of everything you need to do. Simply be there for her. She doesn't require you to solve every problem or have all the answers. All she needs to know is that she is not alone. She will sense your strength if you love her through this." With a sigh, Jamal took in what she had said. "Thank you, Mom. That was just what I needed to hear." As the medical staff got Chantel ready for surgery the following morning. The sun broke through the hospital blinds. Her face was pallid, but her spirit was unwavering as she lay on the gurney. As the nurses took her to the surgery room, Jamal walked next to her, his hand never leaving hers. Chantel looked up at him and murmured softly, "You've been my rock through all of this." "I'm not sure how I'll ever express my gratitude," Jamal answered. "You don't have to thank me. This is how love seems when you wake up. I will be here, I swear." As the operation room doors loomed ahead, Jamal grudgingly released her hand and watched as she vanished behind them. For a minute he stood there with his worries bearing down on him like a thick blanket. Then, preparing for the next few hours, he turned and headed back to the waiting area. As he sat there with his mind racing, time seemed to drag on. He relived every moment they had spent together, including every promise, laugh, and cry. After what seemed like an age, the surgeon finally appeared, her face composed and comforting. She said, "The surgery went well. She is currently recovering. She will soon be available for you to see." Jamal nodded, a tiny smile piercing his fatigue. As relief washed over him, the room was silent and Chantel's vision was blurry. When she finally woke up, she saw Jamal seated next to her bed. Right away, when he spotted her staring at him, his sleep-deprived red eyes brightened. Her voice was feeble as she whispered, "Hey, you remained." He leaned closer and continued, "Of course, I stayed. How are you feeling?" With a slight smile on her lips, she said, "Like I got hit by a truck, but I'm all right." With a soothing demeanor, the doctor entered the room. "The surgery went well, Miss Everett. You're on the right track, but healing will take time. Simply take each day as it comes." With tears streaming down her cheeks, Chantel nodded. Her voice was hardly more than a whisper as she turned to face Jamal. "Without you, I couldn't have completed this." Jamal leaned in to give her a forehead kiss and whispered, "You didn't have to. We have this in common." Jamal reclined back in the chair, his heart full, while Chantel fell back asleep, her hand still in his. He was confident that they would overcome any obstacles that were in their way. He breathed for the first time in days, reassured by the depth of their relationship and the hope of better times to come. This gossip is over. If you like the video, then give your opinion in the comment box and stay with us by subscribing the channel. Thank you.